Love K-dramas and Otome games? This next game might be the one for you. Hello, welcome to my humble abode. My name's Denise and I am a hopeless romantic.
But could you see us getting married someday?
And if you're watching this, you might also be one as well, since we're going to be talking about the spicy new Otome game, Salty Hounds, coming to PC in early access in the second half of 2023, with plans for release on the Switch and mobile platforms in the future. Now, this game has faced many delays, and so far the team has been pretty inconsistent with their updates, but I'll be giving you a rundown on what info has been released so far about the game and their plans for early access. For those of you who don't know, Salty Hounds is a dating simulation RPG that focuses on gaining trust and building relationships with a cast of handsome bodyguards and others as the new manager of a security agency, while affording you as much depth and freedom as possible in paving your own story full of romance. In the game, after your father falls ill, you become the new boss of Salty Hounds, a bodyguard agency that's in dire need of some fresh leadership. You can explore the city at your leisure, try out different activities, and level up your skills. Lead the company to success and maybe even win over some of those super attractive love interests. Plus, the city is alive with a day and night cycle that allow you to enjoy different sorts of activities based on the time of day. Salty Hounds is a very unique and exciting dating and role-playing game that lets you go on your very own romantic adventure. You'll get to meet lots of different characters and explore all the juicy details of the story. Whether you're looking for love, a new friend, or just some crazy fun, Salty Hounds has got you covered. Devs say that this game is gonna keep you entertained for hours on end, no matter how much gaming experience you have. The devs' main objective is to provide you with a virtual romantic adventure that lasts a really long time. They want to show how the characters fall in love in a gradual way. You'll be able to live a virtual life focused on romance and interact with a cast of diverse characters who will react to your actions in unique ways. The love interests all have their own daily schedule, preferences, and secrets that you can uncover. You can go ahead and chat them up, visit them, and even give them some gifts. And make sure to choose your words wisely and plan your schedule like a boss to win over their hearts. As you become better buds and they start to trust you more and more, you'll unlock all sorts of cool new events and dynamic conversations. How you deal with each of your love interests is gonna vary depending on a bunch of different things, like how they're feeling at the moment and how much they're into you, amongst other stuff. All 5 love interests have their own unique tastes and preferences, so they'll react differently depending on what you give them. And if you want to up your romance game, it's all about finding and trading for the best gift items. As you get closer to your love interest, you'll unlock more and more options to interact with them, and you'll be able to ask him out on a date and even visit his crib to spend some quality time together. And sometimes your boo might even hit you up on the phone, and at first it's like chill conversation, but as you get to know them and become increasingly more daring, it'll start getting spicier and spicier. And if your love interest and you become really close, you might even be the one making the first move. These phone calls are narrated by some amazing Korean voice actors who know how to turn up the heat.
위험하니까 이리 와요. 다른 사람 보지 말고.
And once your relationship really deepens, you'll start to uncover the hidden stories behind the men of Salty Hounds. You'll be forced to make some tough decisions that will lead you to one of the many grand endings the story has in store for you. So I had to re-record this bit, but there are 5 love interests in Salty Hounds, which include Noru, the chief bodyguard, who is described as an aloof loner that borders on unsociable. Unfortunately, same. I'm also pretty unsociable, but an excellent bodyguard in the field. Despite being a childhood friend of yours, he doesn't really seem comfortable with you around, which is kind of cute, honestly, because I love childhood friends to romantic partner. I love those stories. Next, we have Seha, the head of a rival company, who is the young but capable head of the rival company, Hair Yang Securities. Both gentle and ruthless at will, he is a foe to be reckoned with. And I kind of also love this storyline, not as much as a childhood friend to besties moment, but I definitely love like a feisty protagonist who is just like, no, I can do it better than you, and she's gonna prove it. And then the guy's like, okay, you're kind of cool. Our next love interest is Taemin, the cheerful bodyguard known as the playful and suave bodyguard with a soft but powerful leadership. You've come to accept his free spirit, but you hope that he'd at least wear a tie to work. Honestly, I can kind of see him like coming in one day and he has like a tie on, but it's like half put on, so it's kind of like hanging, and you're like, dude, please put it on properly, but that's still kind of hot at the same time. We still got 2 more love interests, and one of them is Yujin, the crime investigator, who is a capable crime investigator set out to create a world without injustice. He used to give you private lessons, but that was a long time ago. Oh no. What kind of private lessons? And last but not least is Junho, the gullible bodyguard who is working for a shady security agency, getting ripped off on a daily basis. But maybe, I don't know, maybe you should help him out. I pretty much love every single love interest so far, but Junho definitely seems like such a cutie, and yes, he's gullible, but he seems like a big teddy bear, and I'm here for it. On Kickstarter, the Salty Hounds team exceeded their pledge goal of 10,000 euros and raised about 128,000 euros, unlocking various stretch goals including customizing the soundtrack, new cosmetic items, challenges, a drinking minigame reminiscent of Korean dramas, and fishing with interactive dialogues with love interests. The game will be available on PC, Nintendo Switch, and mobile with English and Korean as the first languages, and plans for localization to major languages such as French, Spanish, German, Chinese, and Japanese. Salty Hounds will enter its early access phase sometime in the first half of 2023, but they've had many delays, and I think they will continue to have many more delays just based on their track record, but the developers are inviting players to join them on their journey once the game is in early access. The game is scheduled to come out of early access in the second half of 2023, however, please note once again that delays will most likely be frequent and updates will be very infrequent based on what we see previously with the team. The timing for when the game comes out of early access will also be determined by how quickly the team can respond to the feedback they received during early access. The game is already packed with core features, but developers plan to add more content through updates throughout the early access phase. The game will be cheaper during early access, and once Salty Hounds leaves early access and the 1.0 version of the game is released, they will increase the price of the game. During the early access phase, players can progress their relationship with the Bachelors up to a certain level. The limit will be gradually removed through updates, and the plan is to add in more minigames, item collecting system, more phone call events, more illustrations and text messages, additional story bits, dating content, and endings. The game will also include an open world metropolis where players can create their own romantic adventure. They hope that the feedback during the early access phase will allow them to make sure the game is fun, allow them to add more content, and polish it up to its max potential. The Salty Hounds team is gonna be all ears for user feedback on Steam's official forum once the early access phase is out, so if you find any bugs or have any suggestions for the game, don't hesitate to share with them. This game is being developed by an indie game developer studio based in Seoul, South Korea. They're a team of passionate game creators with decades of combined experience. They're new on the scene, but have already turned down acquisition and investment proposals from big investors back in 2021. Why? Because they want to keep full control of their vision and create this dating sim RPG exactly as they wanted. And they're introducing the game on Kickstarter to get more funding so they can guarantee a smooth operation until release. They want to prove to the world that passion and love can make an indie game a big hit, even bigger than most AAA games. And they want you to be a part of their great journey. The game isn't out yet at the time that I'm recording this video, but there are some things to note if you are planning to get the game once the early access phase comes out. During the game's development, the main artist left the project, which caused a major shift in the art style. Now, it still looks really great, but it is definitely a shift that ended up causing a delay in the game's release date because a lot of the art had to be redone. And as an indie game development team, it's tough to know what to think of them since we don't really know who any of the developers are, and the dev team topping palette is very new in the gaming scene, with Salty Hound being their first game as a team. They've been kind of all over the place with their updates, plus they've been privating a lot of old clips of the game on their YouTube channel. Now, it's possible that's because those clips had old art or gameplay that no longer reflect the current state of the game, and that's why it was privated. So that's not a really huge deal, but I did find some other things that I wanted to point out as well, if you were like looking into them a little bit more as I was. So their website does have some inactive tabs for the fact and updates section of their website, and their About Us page on their website doesn't give much info on the team, and overall most of the complaints from Kickstarter backers have been about the lack of updates, so please keep that in mind as you go into the game and start your early access experience. Now, these are all things I've just noticed as I've been doing some research for this particular video, and I want to just make sure that you know what's going on before you go ahead and check out the game. But regardless of the issues that they've encountered, I'm super excited to give this game a shot. I've been waiting patiently, but I'd love to hear your take on Salty Hounds in the comments. Have you heard of this game before? And if so, what do you think about all the delays? Do you reckon this game will live up to the hype? If you enjoyed this vid and want to see more cozy game content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you in the next one. Bye!